Hey YouTubers, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell over by the subscriber button to notify you every single time I upload. Enjoy the video. Hey YouTubers, so this is just gonna be like more of a just an open question to you guys, more of a general vlog video, just trying to air my thoughts out here, and it's not really a thank you video as much as it will be when I hit 15K, but I did recently get 13K, at least around the time of recording this. And this is a video I've been wanting to make almost ever since I started YouTube. I just didn't think I had enough pull. I didn't have enough audience that could probably, I guess for one way or another, connect with the thought here or what I'm going to try to talk about. And what I mean here is when I started YouTube, and granted, I started YouTube pretty late when you're talking about Dragon Ball content makers. Well, there's a lot of people who have been doing it for a lot longer than me, and even people who haven't been doing that much longer than me started around the time when it was optimal to start. That being said, before I get into any of this, I really want to say thank you for everyone who has supported me and who has watched my videos, shared your thoughts, your theories, your speculations, all of it really. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for everyone and all y'all support. And obviously I hope you guys will keep watching as we get closer to the months ahead and get closer to the end of the year, the holidays. I will be looking to do another giveaway. Like I said last time I did the giveaway, it's not something I'll do all the time. It's not something I want to do all the time because I just honestly, you know, those things are kind of expensive and they're a lot of coordination. But at the same time, I really want to give back to the people who have brought me so much. I mean, you guys, really, all the y'all's support, y'all's interaction, all this other stuff what really makes every single day of doing this worth it. And I wouldn't be doing this, I wouldn't be putting out as much content, and I wouldn't be as comfortable with myself, my situations, my surroundings, if it wasn't for your guys, all y'all, and y'all's acceptance of the stuff that I put out there. Honestly, it's given me so much comfort, so much just courage to do the things that normally, or at least in the past, would have terrified me. And I have grown so much in the little over 2 years that I've been doing this than I was 2 years ago. And I have everyone who pays attention and everyone who subscribes, everyone who interacts to thank. And honestly, I can't say thank you enough. But with that being said, I want to get into this, and I don't know how long this is going to be. I don't know how much I have to air about this really, but I really wanted to know if this is just me. Is it just me that fell into this little bubble back in 2014 and led me to doing this or paying attention to this or anything else like this? Because even though it wasn't the purpose of the movie, maybe, I mean, I guess in certain ways it was the purpose of the movie, but I felt like it really has affected me, even though I would now say that the movie I'm going to be talking about, which you saw the title, you saw the thumbnail, you guys know what I'm going to be talking about. I'm going to be talking about Richard Linklater's Boyhood that came out in the end of 2014, back when everyone was saying that was the best movie of the year. I agree, but I wasn't really mad that Birdman won the Best Picture. Agreed that because of the experiment of it and the nostalgia that it brought, and obviously the impact, it should have won, but the Academy never really makes a good decision, and that's fine. I'm not a huge proponent of the Oscars, although I watch them every single year and I do look forward to them. I never think that they made the right decision most of the time. That being said, like I said, Birdman is an interesting film, and I liked it. It holds up more than some of the other past winners, especially more recent past winners. But there is a thing about Boyhood that reminded me of my own childhood. Not just this, obviously, there's a lot of stuff here that would remind a lot of people about their childhood. And I hope, you know, for the most part, I really hope that there's people out there who don't connect with some of the darker things out there, but I'm sure there are, and I feel for every single one of you. I've been through some dark times in myself, and that's not what I really want to focus on here. It's more so something in the background that pops up a lot, especially at the very beginning of the movie, or at least around halfway through. When Mason's character is younger, it's it's interesting because they show multiple times, I believe, just off the top of my head, and it's been a while since I've seen this movie, so please tell me if I'm missing anything, but I believe you get to see Dragon Ball Z posters. He has bed sheets. At some point, he's watching Majin Buu and going and attacking a city. I think that's one of the things that we see in that arc, at least in the Majin Buu arc, at least in that part of the shot where his mom's talking to him and he's just kind of like blatantly not paying attention to her as he's paying attention to Nami playing on the television screen. And I don't know, like that. I guess it was a culmination of things, that nostalgia for that movie kind of showing like, yeah, maybe this is around the time in my life even that I would get nostalgic for my childhood. Obviously, that's a huge part right now in a lot of media and entertainment. Dragon Ball Super being a huge part of that. Or a huge revenue thing that's really cashing in on that, especially is also taking in and bringing in new audiences with Super and all the other stuff that you can get from that. But for me, at least at the time, it was a reminder of childhood, and when everything's ramping up and the weight of adult responsibility and everything is getting you down, you start thinking about how easy it was to be a kid, how it was kind of nice when we were kids to rush home after school because you couldn't miss the new episode of Dragon Ball Z. You had to go see it, like, because even though there was progression in that show, nothing happened so quickly, and it wasn't the end of the world if you missed one episode, but it felt like it at the time because that was the most important thing that you had to look forward to each and every single day during the week. School didn't matter, homework didn't matter, at least in that 30-minute time window, and we could all just kind of sit back, relax, and enjoy ourselves. And I have to admit, I think Boyhood was a huge influence on me to really revisit the Dragon Ball roots. Now, obviously, at that time I wasn't really into it all. You know, I was kind of getting back into Dragon Ball. I was like, oh yeah, maybe this is like something I should look into. Maybe I should just rewatch the show again. I'm not going to really look into it that heavily. And then Boyhood hit, and I have to admit that it really triggered something in me. I wanted to continue watching. I wanted to continue to I wanted to look into it more. I wanted to learn more about the show. I wanted to really dive into the series more than I had ever done so in the past, because it was interesting. It was a reminder of everything that I had been through in my life. It was a reminder that even though I've accomplished so much, I could still escape to what made me comfortable and make me think that, yes, it's okay to be a kid again sometimes. It's okay to enjoy something the same way as I enjoyed Dragon Ball when I was younger, and it's kind of a safe place. And I take no shame in that. I don't think anyone should take any shame in relying on nostalgia to put you back in a safer mindset and allow you to deal with the bump and grind and all this other stuff that adult life or just day-to-day life really puts on you. If you need an escape, that's fine. And Dragon Ball is not drugs. It's not alcohol. It's not something that's innately bad for you. It's not something that's cancerous to you. Now, people can make it that way, and one of the things I've learned along the way of you doing YouTube and everything is getting more involved with communities and actually having to respond, because I'm the one making this content and kind of building my own community here that you guys are tuning in, you know, listening to my thoughts and opinions about this stuff, and you want to share your thoughts and opinions on my own, and that is something I have to respond to, but not because I really have to, because I really like to. And there, with that also comes the burdens of just a community, and there are people who disagree, and there are people who disagree in a really upsetting way sometimes, but that's okay, because at the end of the day, at least for me, this is still Dragon Ball. This is still my nostalgic home to be a child again, and that's the way I've always approached my channel, and that's the way I've always approached just watching Dragon Ball in general. Maybe less so when I very first started, but the more and more I've gotten into doing law school or doing this, that, or the other and gotten away from my film school or filmmaking roots, I've become less and less cynical about the stuff that I watch, and relying on the entertainment and this platform and all of you guys enough to really understand that this is something I escape to. This is something that I go into and really express myself and have fun. Try my hardest to have fun. And I hope people would think of it that way. I hope people would interpret what I'm saying to mean something good, because honestly, right now I'm just rambling, obviously. But getting back to the topic, the one thing about Boyhood, it was a reintroduction, really, to Dragon Ball for me, because it was a reintroduction and almost a awakening call that said, like, okay, maybe it is okay to go back. Maybe you weren't the only one ever who really enjoyed it more than you really should have. The person who had posters, sheets, paid attention, even though your parents are mad at you at that time because you can't miss it. You know, maybe you're not that only person. This is on a movie. This is on an Oscar-worthy movie about a boy growing up. You weren't the only one who had this experience, and if that was a safer place for you, that's fine. Go into that safer place if you need be, not forever, but for as much time as possible. And remember, around this time, when the time Boyhood came out, I believe you had Battle of Gods came out in the theaters. Obviously, it was an event film. You had to go see it, and anyone who did go see it, I'm sure you had just as much fun as I did. And that was like what I was saying at the beginning. It was like there was already that remnants, and maybe I should. And this was just more of a kickstart into going back and watching and learning more about it, learning about Danny and Dino and all the other people in the community, Donnie even, and also it was building them. It was right smack dab in the middle of the hype about Fakatsu no F, the movie, coming out, and Xenoverse coming out, the very first, the most hyped Dragon Ball game ever before Dragon Ball Fighters. So yeah, like, I really feel like this movie was a huge catalyst in me making this channel. And the reason I'm making this vlog right now, or this open question to you guys, really is to ask, am I the only one? I kind of have always felt, and like I said, I've been kind of holding off on this video for a really long time, because I've always kind of felt like maybe I was the only one. Maybe I was the only one who went to go see that movie and noticed this stuff, in the background, and made me think and make me somewhat a little bit embarrassed to having thought that, like, maybe I shouldn't go back to this anime that I just adored as a kid, and I'm a little too old for that now. But it is kind of knocking at the door and saying, yeah, that maybe this is something that a lot of people experienced and people want to return to. Nostalgia is a big part of our entertainment culture right now. So I can't feel like I was the only one. I think that's the whole point. Is I'm sure that there's someone listening to this video right now who is going to tell me they had the exact same story, that they watched Boyhood and it kind of reminded them of who they were and how they interacted with the world around them and how they can escape into their own childhood and get away from the hustle and bustle of everything. So I know I've been rambling. That was the whole point of this video, just basically to share this thought, and also just to say thank you so much, guys, for 13,000 subscribers. I really never thought, I know it's cliche, but I never thought that I would be here at this point. I just never thought that I could grow this big, and I'm so happy and so just grateful for all of the support. And I promise, at least I sincerely hope that I don't let anyone who truly enjoys the stuff that I put out there, I truly hope that I don't let you guys down. And I hope that I continue to make really good content that you want to watch and you're excited for. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to leave it at that. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell over by the subscriber button. That's going to notify you every single time I upload daily Dragon Ball Super content over here and Reel to Reel Productions, guys. I do not miss a day. I haven't missed a day in almost a year. So I hope you guys, if you enjoyed this video, if you enjoyed anything, just go look around my channel if you haven't already. Watch something new. Lots of theories and speculation, so maybe certain videos won't be as relevant, but we do like to kind of also do rewrites and kind of pitch ideas for what we would like to see in episodes and everything. At the same time, I also have Real Talk, which I talk more about, more so horror movies, but just movies and television in general. A lot more diverse than this channel, but I hope everyone would go over there too. You could find it in my awesome channels over there on the main page to the right. It's the very first one. If you want to check that out and subscribe to that, that'd be awesome, guys. But anyway, I hope everyone has a fantastic day. Honestly, guys, thank you so much. It's been real.